So it's no news Monday. The trading day could still be good. So I'm just getting to the charts now. It's 9:37, so market has opened, but it's totally fine. So um, possibilities for this day, in my opinion, don't look too good because what do we have here? No news Monday. That's the first thing that we have, and that could be in itself slowing price down a little bit, or the price action. But then you can see overnight we didn't really move much, if at all. Midnight open, 8:30 open, 9:30 open, all stacked in this area here. The open range gap is small in this area as well. We put on like equal highs here, so that could be swept, and we could totally have like a larger retracement because there is a lot of range from this high to this low to drive into. So we don't actually need to break down below this low. Market put on new week opening gap as well, so dropped to this new week opening gap and a sweep of this low is totally sensible to happen, and we could easily then now start to have some type of retracement high because market opens, we kind of move hard, but we don't take this liquidity pool. Then we move lower, take the liquidity pool down here, and now we're in a situation where okay, market is bearish, and hence you would maybe expect market to break down below this low here. And if you had to bet on something, I would probably bet that we were going to run that low. But for me, there is still a fair prospect of price actually pushing above the high here. And I'm definitely not trying to sell this price action right now. Looking at ES. So similar stuff with ES, no SMT, at least no notable SMT here. So that's the case pretty much. Let's go with 9:30 here. 8:30 open. Midnight open. So these true opening prices are kind of stacked. You can see between midnight open here and 8:30 open there is almost no movement. So obviously we have fluctuated like this, but price returned to around the same area. And of course that's your new week opening gap. I can mark that out as well, and then the your so that opens here, opens close there. So the opening range gaps looks something like this. Let's go to 1 minute chart and shrink the open range gap to like this is how I like to do it. So I just shrink that down to like that, exactly like that. Same stuff with that. So right now, there is that problem that do I want to go short? Not necessarily, because the first move of the day at the 9:30 open happens lower. That could be meaning that that's a Judas swing price sweep some sell side before it's running to the buy side, and there are good reasons to go higher. Namely, these equal highs, and just like large range, Friday dropped heavily. We left massive range, and price could easily retrace far into this range, this being the equilibrium of the price leg from the high to low. So pretty much that's the case that I'm kind of thinking right now. And of course, the problem with shorts is that do you want to short when market is so heavily in the discount? Possibly, yeah. Like if let's say NQ had swept the high here, let's draw like a wick like this. If it has swept the had swept the high like that, I would be probably trying to get into some type of short after that. But obviously we didn't sweep the high. That never happened. I can't assume now that market is going to go for the lows, even though we are so heavily bearish right now. So that this type of push below the sell side here is probably going to be expected. But like, I just can't get myself into getting into that type of short. So I'll just have to deal with it, and the possibility of me not getting a trade today is there. A couple of last weeks have been a little bit difficult for me in terms of the fact that it has been hard to get into trades. Like I haven't really got many trades. Like let's say Friday would just drop absolutely massively. I'm kind of thinking Friday that okay, maybe we could drive above the highs, and then I'm just trying to look for a rejection out of this area, and we just melt through it, and price never gives any type of setup whatsoever. And then what that just means is that I just couldn't get into any trades whatsoever, and that happened multiple times last couple of weeks, and so I haven't been able to actually execute that many trades lately. But yeah, Friday was actually a little bit of an anomaly. Usually, when you see like massive drop in the morning session, usually what happens after that is that maybe between 11 a.m. and 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. hour, you see that some type of retracement, which we didn't really see. It kind of started to retrace, but it kind of stalled. Didn't really retrace, rather built more liquidity to the basket, and then it just continued dropping. And usually, if this happens, then especially being Friday, we would see some type of retracement in the PM session, markets on close, macro stuff like that, which we didn't even get that. Market just gave absolute bullshit barcoding for the rest of the week, and yeah, then we gap a little bit higher here at the start of the week, Monday, and now we kind of build liquidity about the gap, get into the gap, sweep some liquidity, accumulate, create equal highs. Now we've swept the low here, so that's the reason why I'm kind of anticipating some double longs here. So straight at the market open, what do we have? This is the first fair value gap of the morning session, so that's important zone for me, or level. So yeah, currently I'm just not willing to take shorts. I guess my bias could change. I'm just trying to see some evidence here. So I'll get back to you if I'm willing to do something here. But especially if we start stalling more inside of this new week opening gap, we build some structure. Maybe we have like aggressive break of structure higher. I'm totally fine with getting longs. Let's say NQ maybe does this, breaks higher, and I try to get long. The absolute dream scenario would be that ES swept the low, did the same, and we would have like a big SMT with the lows here. That would be kind of the dream scenario with that, but to be honest, going long is kind of against the general trend currently, so there has to be some type of little bit more of consideration behind the trade, I would say. That's kind of how my trading has felt this last couple of weeks. I don't know why, but I mean, I probably don't sorry. price just has been price action has been a little bit worse lately, in my opinion. So that's probably the case. But yeah, I'll get back to you. So right now we're just melting through the lows. What can I say? I hope this day isn't going to be just like continuous melt, because I won't be able to get into a trade. Like, let's say if market did this, yeah, you could technically take a short here. I don't want to be a part of it because we swept the previous day low here, and yeah, we are bearish, and market could just continue melting, and that's probably what it's going to do when I'm not taking the trade. But I'm that's not my style of trading. I don't risk my money in this kind of circumstance. So I'll just have to hope that we get enough confluence to go long to the highs, or otherwise there will not be set up today for me. I will not take a trade today. In that case, if that is the case, and it's kind of annoying because as a trader you want to be taking setups and making money, but sometimes there has to be like a little bit longer period of time when if price action isn't really favorable for you, then you just have to learn to sit on your hands. Oh my god, this melt is mad. We're just continuing to go lower. I don't think at this point there is any more coming back up here. Unfortunately, that's just the case, and I don't like to trade these days. Like this just straightforward melts, and this is like carbon copy of Friday, which is fine, but like there was biggest retracement of the day so far has been this one, and this is just ridiculous. Like, what would you do it here? Maybe I don't know. Target these lows. It's just going to go there. Like I can't get into this trade anymore. Nor was there any point to get in. Like, what? Where would I have got into shorts? Nowhere really. And like, say how I would have got into shorts is this. Let's say 9:30 open does what it does, goes for the low, goes for the high, then shifts lower here. I would have got short here. That would have been short for me. Also, if 9:30 steps immediately higher and then gives nice short, I would have got short as well. Right now, we just melt through, and this has been the story of last week or so. At least I feel like so. I don't know. Yeah, there has been a couple of good days, and maybe sometimes these days also give fairly good like retracement trades during the lunch hour or so, or PM session. So these are just days when maybe it's best for you to avoid the market during the AM session, or at least like the silver bullet hour 10 to 11. It's usually just going to expand lower and maybe give like a small retracement, then expand lower, and usually just doesn't give you setup. Because what are you gonna do here? Like, let's say it's going to melt all the way down here during the silver bullet hour. What am I gonna do here? I would require something like large the large large retracement up here, and then some type of structure here being built, some type of flow like that we could break, and then I would get short. But here we're just melting way too fast, and market is showing no signs of retracement of any kind. Now this is the weekly low that I've marked out. I can see it from the hourly time frame. So the weekly low is down here. It's actually this. Let's see. Yeah, we've taken that now. So is market going to kind of shift higher, put on like a retracement? I would hope so. But I've kind of decided not to participate today. that's just the case here. Like I'm frustrated. Probably I shouldn't be, because you know, as traders we shouldn't get into emotions. I'm not really that emotional right now, but I'm just kind of like annoyed what price always does or seems to be doing these days. But yeah, it's fine. It's whatever.